Hey everyone, this is grade 4, module 1, lesson 5 problem set. And in this lesson, what we're going to be doing is we're going to look to compare numbers based on the meaning of the digits using those greater than, less than, or equal to symbols to record the comparison. Number 1 says, label the units in the place value chart. Draw place value discs to represent each number in the place value chart, and then use those greater than, less than, or equal to symbols to compare the two numbers. Write the correct symbol in the circle. So first thing we need to do is we need to go through and we need to label our place value chart. So let's go ahead and start with our ones. So the ones is our tens. This is our hundreds. This is our thousands, 10,000s, and after our 10,000s, we have our 100,000s. And then this is our millions, which in this example doesn't look like we are going to use. So I will use the color purple to show this number, and I will use the color orange to represent this number. So when we look at this number right here, we're going to go ahead and put it into our place value chart. So we have a 5 in the ones place, a 1 in the tens place, no hundreds, no thousands, no 10,000s, and we have a 6 in our 100,000s. For our other number, we have also a 5 in the ones, a 1 in the tens, no hundreds, no thousands, but we do have a 6 in the 10,000s. So this is, down over here, this is our smallest place values. And as we move to the left, the place values are getting larger and larger and larger. So when I notice that I have really any amounts, in this case, of 100,000s compared to nothing down here in the 100,000s, that automatically makes this the larger number. So we would read this as 600,015 is greater than 60,015, simply because I have a number in the 100,000s place. This one has nothing in the 100,000s place, so any amount of 100,000s, in this case 6, is going to be greater than no 100,000s. Let's take a look at the same sort of example down here. Again, I'll use purple for this number. So we have, again, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, hundred thousands, and millions. So again, I'll use purple for this first number here. We have a 4 in the ones place, no tens, 0 hundreds, 9 in the thousands place, 0 10,000s, and 4 100,000s. Use that same orange for this number, where I have 2 in the ones, 0 tens, 0 hundreds, 0 thousands, 4 10,000s, and 4 100,000s. So the next thing I want to do is I want to take a look at my largest place value. In this case, I can see in my 100,000s place, not only do I have some amount of 100,000s in both numbers, I actually have the same amount. I have 4 100,000s in both instances. So in order to compare these numbers, what I need to do is I need to move my attention over to the next smallest place value. And I need to look at comparing whatever amount of 10,000s I have. in this case, I notice that I have 0 10,000s compared to 4 10,000s. So since 4 10,000s is larger than 0 10,000s, that makes this entire number larger. So 409,004 is going to be less than 440,002. Number 2 says compare the two numbers by using the symbols greater than, less than, and equal to. Write the correct symbol in the circle. So this time we're going to sort of remove the place value chart. And what we're going to do is we want to start by looking at our largest place value. I notice that this number here has 6 total digits. So that means I have some amount of 100,000s, 300,000s, 4 10,000s, 2,000s, no hundreds, no tens, and just 1. But over here, I only have 5 digits. So I can't get tricked by just looking at the leading digit, because if so, I would say, oh, 9's greater than 3. But I have to remember and keep in mind what each digit represents by which place value it's in. The fact that this number over here has 6 digits means I have some amount of 100,000s. I have 300,000s. Here I have no amount of 100,000s. So 342,001 is going to be greater than 94,981. Again, simply because I don't have any amount of 100,000s. This time I need to compare two numbers in different in different forms. Over here I have a number in expanded form. Over here I have a number in word form. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I put both of these into standard form. So 500,000 would be a 5 in the 100,000s place. 80,000 would be an 8 in the 10,000s place. 9,000 would be a 9 in the thousands place. I put my comma. I have 100, but I don't have any 10s or 1s, so I need to use my placeholder zeros to make sure that all the digits end up in their respective place values. Now over here, I need to sort of think back to last lesson where I'm using that word thousands almost as like a benchmark for where my comma is going to go. So here I have 508,000. So that number would look like this, 508,000. Now I have 901. So 9 in the hundreds place, no tens, 1. Now I can compare. Okay. In this case, I have 6 digits in both cases. So I'm comparing digits, or I'm comparing numbers that show the same amount of digits out to the 100,000s place. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my 100,000s place. A 5 compared to a 5. Well, those are both the same, so I'm not able from there to determine which number will be larger or smaller. So I need to move over to the next smallest place value, which is my 10,000s. And in this case now I'm comparing 8 10,000s compared to 0 10,000s. So since this 8 here is larger than the 0 over here, that's the larger number. So I would read this as 589,100 is greater than 508,901. Letter C has a number in this like unit form over here, and then a number in standard form. So let's convert this number from unit form into standard form. So 900,000s would be a 9 in the 100,000s place. The next part says 8,000. So we don't have any amount of 10,000. So I'm going to go ahead and put that placeholder 0 in. Put an 8 in my thousands place. My comma would go. 900, so a 9 in the hundreds place, 3 tens, and doesn't say anything about 1, so I have 0 ones. So 908, hey, it's the same over here. 908, 930, 930. So I have the exact same digits in the exact same place values. That's going to make these equal to each other. 908,930 is equal to 908,930. 930. Same deal down here. Letter D shows 9 hundreds, 5 10,000s, 9 ones. Let's put that into standard form. So 9 hundreds would be just 900, 5 10,000s. Oh, so these are a little bit out of order because the 10,000 is actually the greater place value. So I'm going to put a 5 in the 10,000s over here and 9 ones. So 5 10,000s would be here, but I don't have any thousands that it tells me, so I need to put a 0 there. Here's my 900s, so that's why that's over there. 9 ones means that I don't have any tens, but I do have 9 ones to make 50,909. This one over here says 6 10,000s, so 6 in the 10,000s place. Doesn't say anything about thousands, so a 0 in my thousands place. 500s, no tens. I do have 9 ones. I have 5 digits in both instances. So that means I'm comparing, the same amount of place values. So I start with my largest place value, and I notice it right off the bat that one number has 5 10,000s, the other number has 6 10,000s. So 6 in the 10,000s is greater than 5 in the 10,000. So I would read this from standard form as 50,909 is less than 60,509. Number 3 says, use the information in the chart below to list the height in feet of each mountain from least to greatest. So from smallest to largest. Then name the mountains that has the lowest elevation in feet. Okay, so we're going from least to greatest. So that means I want to find the smallest number first and then go up to my greatest. So in each of these, each of these mountains have at least thousands in their elevation in feet. So this one has 4,340 feet, 5,344 feet, 4,960 feet, 4,240 feet. So I notice off the bat that these 3 have at least a 4 in the thousands place. The next thing I need to do is I need to move over to the next smallest place value, which is the hundreds. 300s, 900s, 200s. So which of those numbers is the smallest, 3, 9, or 2? Well, it would be number 2. So this guy right here is my smallest. And since I need to list them from least to greatest, that means this number is going to come first. So 4,240 feet is going to be first. I'll go ahead and sort of cross that out. And what's the next smallest? So again, I'm looking at my thousands place, 4,000s, 4,000s. Okay, those are the same, so I need to move over to my hundreds. Here I have 300s compared to 9 in the hundreds place. So 3 being less than 9 makes this the next smallest. 4,340. Get rid of that one. Now, when it comes down to these last 2 over here, I can just compare by looking in my thousands place, because this one has 5,000s, this one has 4,000s. So 4,000s is less than 5,000s. So 4,960 is less than 5,344, and that will actually be my largest. Okay. Then name the mountain that has the lowest elevation in feet. So what was the name of the mountain that measured 4,240 feet? It was this one, Slide Mountain. So we would say Slide Mountain has the lowest elevation. Let's move on to 4, 5, and 6 over on the next page. It says arrange these numbers from least to greatest. So again, looking at the smallest number up to the largest number. Well, one of these numbers is sort of standing out to me, and it's this one here, 820, because this one, this one and this one all have 4 digits. 820 only has 3 digits, which means that there is no amount of thousands in 820, making this the smallest. So we have 820. Cross that out. Now I'm looking at 4 numbers that have at least some amount of thousands. 8,000, 2,000s, 2,000s, 8,000. So I'm focused in on these two right now because 2,000s is less than 8,000s. So can't really tell which one is larger from looking at the thousands place, so I need to jump over and look at the hundreds. But I noticed that in both of these numbers, there's 2,000s, 0 hundreds. So I need to move over to my tens place. Here we have 8 tens compared to 0 tens. So 0 tens is going to be less than 8 tens, which makes 2008 smaller. And the next smallest would be 2080. So 8 in the tens compared to 8 in the ones. I took care of these two. Now I'm just looking at my final two numbers. 8,002 compared to 8,200. Again, first looking at my thousands place. They both have an 8. I need to move over to look at my hundreds. And I see that 0 hundreds compared to 200s. And since I'm listing from least to greatest, I want the smaller of those two numbers. So 8,002 is the next smallest, which makes 8,200 the largest. Careful with the directions here in number 5, because they switch it up. They don't want the numbers from least to greatest, they want greatest to least. So in that previous example, we were looking at the smallest number up to the largest number. In number 5, we're doing the opposite, where we're putting the biggest number first down to the smallest. So I notice I have 100,000s, 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 but this number over here only has 5 digits, which means that there's no 100,000s. Okay? So this one's going to be actually the least, but I'm focused on the greatest for right now. So 7 in the 100,000s. For each of these 3 numbers, I need to move over to the next smallest place value, which is my 10,000s. And I notice that this number here and this number here each have the same amount of 10,000s. So I need to move them to the next smallest place value. And when I do that, I notice in the thousands place, there's 8,000s here compared to 0 thousands over here, which makes this number, 728,000, the greatest. It's the biggest number. All right, what's the next biggest number? Well, 710,000s compared to 710,000. I'm sorry, 700,000s compared to 700,000s. And move over to my 10,000s place, and 2 10,000s is greater than 0 10,000s, which makes this guy the next largest, which would be 720,800. Then I have 708,200 and 87,300 is the smallest, is the least. Again, because I don't have any amount of 100,000s in this number. Number 6 says 1 astronomical unit, or 1 AU, is the approximate distance from Earth to the Sun. The following are the approximate distances from Earth to nearby stars given in AU. So AUs is really just our unit here. It says list the names of the stars and their distances in AUs in order from closest to farthest from Earth. So really, when they say closest, that means the least, because if it's the closest, it's the least amount of distance. The farthest from Earth would be the greatest or the biggest distance from Earth. All right? So let's take a look at these one by one. And I might butcher some of these names, but that's okay. Alpha Centauri is 275,725 AUs from Earth. Proxima Centauri is 286,269 AUs from Earth. Epsilon Eridani is 665,282 AUs from Earth. Bernard's star is 377,098 AUs from Earth. And Sirius is 542,774 AUs from Earth. So we need to list these from closest to farthest, so from least to greatest. So which of these numbers is the least? Well, I noticed that they all have 6 digits in them. All of these numbers have 6 digits in them. So that means I can take a look at the leading number to find the smallest. So 5, 3, 6, 2, and 2. So I noticed that 2 of these numbers have a 2 in the 100,000s place. So I need to move to my next smallest place value, which would be my 10,000s. And I have a 6 in the 10,000s compared to a 7 in the 10,000s, which makes Proxima Centauri the closest. So I'm going to go ahead and write these at the same time. So 268,269. And again, that is Proxima Centauri. And just so I don't confuse myself, I'm going to go ahead and cross that one out so I can just focus my attention on the other ones. Okay? What is the next smallest? Well, I can still look at the leading digit because it's all in the 100,000s. And Alpha Centauri would be the next closest to Earth because it's 2 in the 100,000. So 275,725. And again, that is Alpha Centauri. And cross that guy out. The next one would be Bernard's star, because I have a 3 in the 100,000s compared to a 6 and a 5. So 3 is less than 6 and 5, so that makes this whole number less than both of them. So 377,098, and this is called Bernard's star. And these last two I can look at pretty quickly and realize that a 5 in the 100,000s is going to be less than a 6 in the 100,000s. So I'm going to go ahead and place these last two numbers with 542,774 and 665,282. And again, that would be Sirius and Epsilon Eridani is the furthest distance from Earth.